Christmas. Gremlin on the road.
Today, with our amount of bags, we're going from Toronto Pearson to Frankfurt on a Lufthansa flight. We dropped off the car at the Sky Park long-term parking, which works out at about $6 Canadian a day and gives you a pretty seamless service. It was just before Christmas and we had emails from Lufthansa saying that the flight was very busy, so we were expecting crowds at the airport and arrived in good time. But both the check-in and the security were pretty empty. The check-in process was smooth, but then we were traveling without a pram, which was always the biggest problem. The security area at Pearson Terminal 1 is fairly large and quite well organized, and no queue at all made it very quick.
Show me hands. Put them over. Put them back. Put them over. Put them back. Back across my way.
So with some 2.5 hours to while away, we headed for the lounge.
Where do we go now?
This is the Maple Leaf Lounge at Toronto Pearson 1, the Air Canada flagship lounge. The lounge is inside the terminal building, so there are no windows directly onto the apron, but you can still see the aircraft and the comings and goings outside. It's spacious, with a lot of comfortable seats and a separate eating area.
That Daddy's getting me some food and a drink, and plus I'm that baby, and the one that's filming is that Mommy. Hey, this one's broken. I don't want those things. I want it to leave.
Marshmallows and candy canes. Not hungry then.
I'll have something healthy now.
Well, Emily has her own idea of healthy eating, but there were salads, soups and snacks available. We were there in mid-afternoon, so I guess this was the lunchtime fare, not the breakfast, not the dinner. There are computers and internet stations and a few desks, but there isn't a children's play area, and neither is there one in the terminal outside. It's not an arrival lounge, but they do have 4 showers. They are locked and you have to ask for a key at the reception, but they're free of charge. So you don't like tomato pesto and you don't like tzatziki? Oh, and by the way, the screens here do not show the actual status of your flight. So if you think the displays will tell you that your flight is boarding, think again. All passengers, there are plenty of options for food and drink outside the lounge. Most of them, of course, priced for the captive audience as in any other airport in the world. Although the ubiquitous Tim Hortons, it's not much above their regular prices.
Come on, it's a baby.
And then our plane was there and it was time to board.
You take the thing, give me the passport. You pull the thing. Go.
This is our Christmas treat, so we're going on the secret staircase upstairs.
They gave me $2.
What did you get?
So when I came in, they gave me this Santa Claus teddy. They said, guess who's waiting for you? And the Santa Claus teddy there. And then they pulled it out and I was like, no, bye. And plus, we also have some tellies, and we're having a night over flight in our airplane. Yay!
Wow.
And I'm gonna...
Right, so what have you got? You've got some bins there where you can store something.
Yep, and also when I'm gonna sleep with my new bear, my new teddy.
Ooh.
It's a Christmas teddy. When I first came in, I got this. It's so furry. Here's a feel.
So they had Emily at the teddy bear. The aircraft was a 747-400, so it's seen a few years in service. It was the Lufthansa usual business class layout, which means two beds separated by a low armrest rather than individual pods, which, if you're traveling with a child, is actually more useful than the individual pods. Your personal storage space is actually quite limited, especially during takeoff and landing. At least if you're traveling together, both of you can use the storage bins under the window.
Well, your table is under here. Here, where the red thing is. But don't pull on it.
So there's a cool
Lift off.
thing. There's a little airplane, and then you switch it on just quickly, and then you put it up, and then you wait till it blows.
And the menu and the choice of wines never disappoints with Lufthansa. Children's meals may be pre-booked and are available free of additional charges. We forgot to do this, so Emily had to take a proper grown-up meal. But after the non-negotiable salad, she had a pasta dish followed by chocolate cake and pronounced it excellent. There is, however, a very good choice of in-flight entertainment both for grown-ups and children. Emily watched Frozen and Toy Story 1, which were oldies but goodies, and last season's releases were also there.
Alright, get your pillow. Get your blanket.
The seats convert into proper, completely flat beds, so you can have a proper night's sleep. Unless, of course, you choose to stay up to all hours watching Disney movies or working away. The wake-up call is done about an hour and a half before the landing, which meant on this flight of about 7 hours that we were offered breakfast about 3 hours after the dinner service finished. Bearing in mind our onward connecting flight from Frankfurt that morning, we opted just for a coffee and juices. But you can have a proper cold continental breakfast of muesli, yogurt, some cold cut cheeses and fruit salad if you want to.
Still sleep. Have a pillow. Your head down. Go to sleep. Okay.
We managed to raise the dead just as the first faint glimmer of dawn came on over England. And then very soon thereafter it was down into Frankfurt and over. This flight, the service was a bit slow and some of the things we asked for never materialized, but still, uneventful flight, overall 4 out of 5 I'd say. So we said our thank yous and stepped out into a very empty Frankfurt airport.